Welcome to our third lesson on living in community. Today, we're exploring mentoring relationships, intentional connections where wisdom, experience, and spiritual insight are passed from one believer to another. Mentoring relationships have played a vital role in spiritual formation throughout biblical and church history. In 2 Timothy 2:2, Paul instructs Timothy, "And the things you have heard from me, say in the presence of many witnesses, and trust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others." This verse describes a 4-generational chain of spiritual influence. Paul to Timothy, to reliable people, to others, highlighting the multiplicative power of mentoring relationships. Think about how a master craftsman traditionally would train the apprentice. The apprentice doesn't just receive theoretical knowledge, but observes the master at work, receives personalized instructions, practices under supervision, and gradually develops similar skills. Similarly, spiritual mentoring involves not just sharing information, but modeling a lived faith that can be observed and replicated. So, what principles should guide mentoring relationships? First, understand the biblical precedent for mentoring. Scripture contains numerous mentoring pairs: Moses and Joshua, Elijah and Elisha, Naomi and Ruth, Jesus and his disciples, Barnabas and Paul, Paul and Timothy. While styles and approaches vary, each relationship involved intentional investment for spiritual development and ministry preparation. Second, recognize that everyone needs mentoring, regardless of spiritual maturity. Proverbs 19:20 advises, "Listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end, you'll be counted among the wise." Even mature believers benefit from relationships with those further along in specific areas of spiritual development or life experience. The humility to remain teachable throughout life characterizes growing disciples. Third, effective mentoring combines formal teaching with life example. 1 Corinthians 11, Paul says, "Follow my example